Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 6 of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to Ontario Motor Speedway for the Firestone 500. First time ever going to Ontario for a race of sorts here in Ontario, California. Basically, this track is similar to a track like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but much better. Much better. And with that being said, here's a recap of the point standings coming into the race today, as Joshua Sakuli leads by 1 point over Benjamin Miles coming into the race, as you also see your starting lineup for the race as well. And Rafael Leduc gets his first pole of the season, so he will be locked into the Bud Shootout next season if he chooses to return. And with that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Firestone 500 at Ontario.
Drivers, start your engines!
So all 40 drivers rolling around the racetrack for their one pace lap around here. Now, I've done a couple of tests with a couple of different versions of Ontario. This is the one that was posted by Wild Customs and Cars, I believe is the group. And I tried this as well as a different version of Ontario, and this version of Ontario that I'm using being the Wild Custom Cars version, yeah, we might get a caution or two, but the racing is absolutely outstanding. So we're going to be seeing some action-packed racing here at Ontario Motor Speedway, as it is a huge rectangular 2.5 mile track. Like I said, it is very similar to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the racing here is so much better than at Indy. So this is going to be quite an entertaining race, to say the least. And how about this front row? The rivals are at it again with qualifying. Rafael Leduc on the pole, and his friend/enemy, frenenemy essentially, Dylan Jacobs, as there's always been this running joke between these two about who qualifies better every single race. If only I had them two with me in the commentary booth, we'd probably have a good laugh out of it. But nonetheless, Rafael Leduc on the pole, first pole of the season. And at a brand new track to the schedule, that this is definitely going to be the make or break race for this track. If we get a good enough race, we'll come back here in Season 8. Pace car into pit road. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. Boogity, 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 let's go racing. Zachary Fitzwater takes the race lead and led the first lap over his teammate. Now, it looked like, from this camera shot, it looked like it was Johnny Gardner who got sideways. Oh, and there they go! Rob Evans and it looks like Clint Spillman just got together in turns 1 and 2, and the first caution of the race comes out for what looked like a pretty hard wreck between the 88 and the 60, but they are still racing it back to the line. Let's get back up to the front, and it looks like Zachary Fitzwater will lead the second lap. So, under caution, it's going to be Fitzwater with the race lead, as chaos has already ensued at the very start of at the beginning of the race, as it looked like an incident between Spillman and Evans in turn 2 to be exact. Or no, turn 1. It was in turn 1 no, it was turn 2 where all this chaos happened, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Ontario. Well, here's a look at what happened. So this is going into turn 2. Watch the 88 of Rob Evans. He gets such a huge run on Clint Spillman. It looks like Clint Spillman starts to slightly turn down, trying to block the 88, just didn't have enough room, and the 88 just had a full head of steam, and they get together, and they both hit the outside wall pretty hard with the rear of their cars, so I'm not sure how quick these guys are going to be on track, or if they'll even be up to speed. I think Rob Evans will be more up to speed than the 60, considering the 60 after hitting the rear end, it spun so quickly it actually hit a little bit on the front end, but I don't think they're going to be out of the race. They'll still continue, but probably not up to speed. So let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Ontario. Well, nobody retired out of the race after that first caution. All 40 cars are still on the racetrack. But while I was getting to this point in the race, there were some pit stops, and well, this is how the field's going to look now. So Zachary Fitzwater is still your race leader. Second is Jay Jefferson. Third, Artur Castanha. Fourth is Ryan Acosta. Fifth, Kyle Matthews. Sixth, Benjamin Miles. Seventh is DJ Curtis. Eighth, Rafael LeDuc. Ninth, Melissa Alexander. 10th, Chris Dollerton. 11th is Michael Norman. 12th is Rafael Fireblade. 13th is Cole Deaver. 14th, Jessica Sheldon. 15th is Jonathan Zorline. 16th is Henry Sanford. 17th, Hannah Klein. 18th, Caleb Kilburn. 19th, Jake Rogers. 20th, James Qualls. 21st, Alyssa Drayson. 22nd, Jordan Forbes. 23rd, Charles Sanford. 24th is Seth Cole. 25th, Dylan Jacobs. 26th is Zach Rogers. 27th, Matt McIntyre. 28th, Dylan Young. 29th, Cole Baker. 30th is James Shelley. 31st is Ricky Carman. 32nd is the points leader, Joshua Sekuli. 33rd is Jesse Turner. 34th, Cody Lamas. 35th, Joey Parkhill. 36th is Carson Gum. 37th, Julia Katrine. 38th, Johnny Gardner. 39th, Rob Evans. 40th is Clint Spillman. As we're getting ready to cross the start-finish line to get this race back underway, and it will be 14 laps to go. We still got some time to see if we can get some really good green flag racing going on. As like I said, they're typically, with the tests I did at this track, there was 1 or maybe 2 cautions at most. So, we'll see what happens. Green flag back out. Zachary Fitzwater and Jay Jefferson got a huge jump on that restart, and Jefferson already going to peak to the bottom to try and take the lead from Fitzwater. Jay Jefferson, remember, he won at the Pensacola road course just a couple of weeks ago, and he's trying to go for his second win this season. Jefferson actually comes into this race 5th in points. Didn't have the best of runs at Atlanta this past week, as meanwhile, rookie Ryan Acosta taking the lead for himself. But new contenders trying to get up here. Benjamin Miles, who is actually, if I can think, yes, he is second in points. Yeah, he is second in points. 1 point behind Joshua Sekuli. So if he can still finish ahead of Sekuli, as well as finish ahead of a few other drivers, he could get the points lead after today's race. While Miles leads, his teammate Zachary Fitzwater trying to get the lead for himself again. Let's actually go to helicopter camera and watch some of the action up here at the front. Wow, Michael Norman really had to let out of the throttle running close to the wall like that. Wow, Benjamin Miles really slowed down as well. I about had a hiccup right there, I apologize. But meanwhile, Zachary Fitzwater back to the lead here at Ontario. But man, look at the cluster of cars. And look at this, you got 3 out of the 4 Horseman Racing drivers up here in the top 10. Looks like it's Klein, Fireblade, and Castanha up here. Whoa, huge speed difference between the bottom and top sides of the racetrack. While Ryan Acosta leads, here comes rookie Hannah Klein to try and take the position. She's getting a little bit of a draft push from teammate Raphael Fireblade, and good cooperation between the Horseman Racing drivers. As they got 1-2 currently with Hannah Klein and Raphael Fireblade. Although Hannah Klein does leave the bottom open for Fireblade to make a move going into turn 1. Possibly, and Hannah Klein does lead that lap, but it might be now 3 wide for the lead as look at Ryan Acosta peak to the bottom. Fireblade has the lead for now, but look at the speed difference. About a good 5 to 6 mile per hour speed difference between the bottom and top sides of the racetrack. So yeah, you definitely want to be on the bottom when making moves. Ryan Acosta doing a solid job of trying to maintain himself up here in the top 10 or so. But man, we're just seeing positions getting shuffled around left and right, as right now in second is Chris Dollarton. Dollarton finally got a good finish at Atlanta. I believe he got a top 10. And he's looking to repeat a run like that, but actually improve upon it. And now he's actually going to dive to the inside to try and take the lead. But look who's right behind him. Last week's winner at Atlanta, Henry Sandford. Trying to go for 2 in a row, perhaps, in terms of victories. Let's look at the back and keep an eye out on Spillman and Evans. And yeah, they are both well off the pace after getting into it under that first caution. Back up here at the front, Hannah Klein takes the lead back. But right behind is Seth Cole in the 98. Now Seth Cole comes into this race 32nd in points. He has not had a good start to the season so far, but he's maybe looking to go for his first win at a brand new track. Back behind the lead, we got a battle going on for, looks like, the 3rd position. Henry Sanford has it, but Matt McIntyre is wanting to take it away, but falls back in line for the time being. But back up here at the front, nearly some contact between Seth Cole and Hannah Klein. That could have been a bad situation. But Seth Cole is going to take the lead, at least for now. Can he cross the line in front? It looks like he will. Seth Cole leading a lap. I believe that's the first lap he has led all season, I think. But right behind him, 3 wide for second. It almost went to 4 wide for a moment. I thought Caleb Kilburn was going to try and pull a ballsy move and make it 4 wide, but decides against it. Moves Matt McIntyre up to second. But look who else is starting to sneak his way into this battle. James Shelley in the 71, who, coming into this race, he is 29th in points. And similar to Seth Cole, not gotten off to a great start in the beginning of Season 7, but he's looking to maybe start doing better from here on out here at Ontario. Man, I cannot speak today. But we got a battle for the lead. Matt McIntyre now to the bottom to take the lead away from Seth Cole. James Shelley following suit right behind to try and get up to second. And yeah, you can just tell when you're on the outside lane in turn 2, you're screwed essentially. because you have to let off the gas so much. Meanwhile, James Shelley now going to try and take the lead over for himself, but Seth Cole, his teammate, not giving up easily. He's not going to let anyone take the lead from him. Now, you got to wonder if perhaps they have to come into pit road one more time before the end of the race, considering I'm not sure what the fuel run is at this racetrack. But now it's a cluster of cars fighting for the top spot. Right now, battled between teammates Seth Cole and James Shelley. Ryan Acosta, he's just kind of been like a puncture drill of some sorts. He goes in and then out of the hunt for the race lead as he finds himself back up here and nearly gets into James Shelley as he got slippery in turn 3 right there. Meanwhile, 3 wide for second, and wow, like I said, that speed difference really kills you on the outside line in turns 2 and turn 4. As meanwhile, battle on for second. Zachary Fitzwater has it, but Hannah Klein wants it. Jordan Forbes is into this battle as well, and Cole Deaver as well. More new contenders starting to get into the hunt, so to speak. Melissa Alexander was on the bottom, but ends up getting passed by Raphael Fireblade for position. And look at Joshua Sakuli, who comes into this race as the points leader, trying to perhaps extend on that points lead, as he is well ahead of Benjamin Miles right now on the racetrack. And Benjamin Miles came into the race 1 point behind Sakuli in the standings. Although I guess they're not going to be able to make it on fuel. We got pit stops happening. Ryan Acosta was the first one to pull in. And Hannah Klein still holding on to the lead, and she actually has a bit of a gap between herself and second place, which is now obtained by her teammate Raphael Fireblade. And look at the pass that Melissa Alexander's trying to execute off of turn 2 here, and she makes it, moving her up to third, at least for now. So yeah, it seems like nobody has enough gas to make it to the end, so it's going to be basically all about who can get out of pit road first and maintain the lead is what's going to determine who wins this race. Hannah Klein pulling in, but Raphael Fireblade staying out another lap. And it's 3 laps to go. Keep in mind, it's 3 to go here at Ontario, and that's a long 7.5 miles to get around this track to complete it. And I don't think Fireblade's going to have enough gas. If he somehow does have enough gas, I'm going to be very, very, very shocked to see if he can survive out there on a one-stop race, I should say. Meanwhile, back in pit road, trying to keep an eye out for some contact between Jordan Forbes and Charles Sanford, but it looks like Melissa Alexander's going to be the first one to get out of pit road of the second group of cars that elected to come to pit road. And I'm trying to find... Where is he? I cannot find where the 52 is on track. There he is. Raphael Fireblade on pit road, and I think Zachary Fitzwater may have stayed out. I don't know, but it says 2 laps to go. I'm not sure. Yeah, there he is. Fitzwater's still out there, leading the way. And he's still not coming into pit road. I'm going to be very, very, very surprised if he can stay out on this run of gas. White flag is out here at Ontario as Zachary Fitzwater has the race lead still and has not and has not run out of gas yet. I apologize if I keep stopping. I'm hearing something downstairs. I apologize if you actually hear it. But Zachary Fitzwater, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to be genuinely shocked if he can make it the rest of the way on gas. And I think Caleb Kilburn's also still out on the track. And there he is, and he's second according to the scoring monitor. As we're getting ready to come off of turn 4 for the final time, and what a strategy call for Zachary Fitzwater. Checkered flag is going to wave. Zachary Fitzwater wins the Firestone 500 at Ontario Motor Speedway, and that's his second win of the season, by the way. And he pulled an excellent strategy call and managed to stay out on the racetrack and not run out of gas. Excellent job by that 12 team, and like I said, that is his second win this season. That's probably going to go down as one of the best strategy calls I have ever seen in the history of this series, and I think he just now ran out of gas. So he was about a half a lap to the good, which is impressive. But let's look at the rest of the results. Caleb Kilburn gets a strong run in second, and he also stayed out on the same tank of gas as Zachary Fitzwater. Jessica Sheldon with a solid run in third, so definitely a good run for her, getting up into the point standings. Raphael Fireblade, highest finishing rookie, I believe, getting fourth, and then Melissa Alexander rounding out the top 5. Then the rest of your top 10 was Jordan Forbes, Johnny Gardner, Ryan Acosta, Jesse Turner, and Henry Sanford. A lot of rookies getting some good runs here today here at Ontario. And then there's, man, the last car on the lead lap was James Shelley, and everyone else went a lap or more down. But there's your top 20, top 30, and then Raphael Leduc was out of the race? Something must have happened to him, but the bottom 5 for this week was Julia Katrine, Zach Rogers, Rob Evans, Cole Baker, and Raphael Leduc, so tough break for all of those guys. But that does it for our coverage here at Ontario as you watch Zachary Fitzwater doing his victory burnout, and here are your final results. Rookie points and regular points heading into our next race, which not sure what it's going to be yet. But until then, this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.